Hi, my name is Gilbert, and this is We Just Talking.
This week we talking about goals and dreams.
Hey, good. Thank you for coming.
This is We Just Talking, okay? If y'all didn't know already, this is We Just Talking. Thank y'all for coming out and sacrificing some time on this Sunday. I know it's a sacrifice. So we talking this week about goals and dreams.
All right.
And I really wanted to just kick it off with an icebreaker question. So what did y'all want to be, like when you was little, like when they asked you what did you want to be when you grow up? What was your idea of that?
When I was little, I wanted to be a music teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Berkeley School of Music. But you know what? I still have one. But I think the way it turned out, I did do 2 years of college. And I love what I do. Like outside of like music here, I love what I do, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Your turn, JoJo.
I wanted to be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And through my sickness, I became one.
Ariel.
Oh, well, one of my dreams and goals, I guess, you said when I was little, I always dreamed to be the Red Power Ranger. Power Ranger, that was like the best one, man. He was cold.
He was.
Yeah, that was one of my dreams, though. But got crushed.
By reality?
Yeah, reality. Show ended.
Right.
You the Power Ranger.
Mighty
Power
Morphin.
Ranger still.
Jonathan, what'd you want to be?
When I was little, I wanted to be an architect,
Architect. Okay.
but
I can't do that.
I lost it. I don't want to do it anymore.
I
You
want to
still
be
can.
a pilot.
A pilot. Okay.
Oh, that's what's up.
I want to be a firefighter.
I can't turn it around, but
I got you.
Put it down. I got you.
I think I want to be a teacher or a doctor, one of those. Go ahead.
I wanted to be a scientist.
What?
What kind of scientist?
I didn't know what kind of scientist. I just knew I wanted to be one until I got in high school and I realized science didn't like me. I like science, it didn't like me. So then it went to, I guess, a rapper. You know, y'all know me. I do music. I wanted to be a rapper. So,
What's up?
yeah. What about you, Randy?
Oh, you accomplished that goal.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's still, I mean, I am, but it's still got some ways to go.
But you're a rapper, though, so you accomplished it.
We're accomplishing.
Right.
Instead of,
For the longest time, I really wanted to be a chef. I honestly just loved cooking when I was younger, so I thought that could become a profession, but it's a real hard industry to get into. So
Randy, you can cook.
it didn't work. Yeah,
You can cook.
The culinary school.
I ain't go to no school or nothing.
Go ahead.
And you know what the funny part is? Because what we all found out was either there was something that was in our way that stopped us from getting there, or there was like we was guided in some kind of direction. Like somebody told us, like, "Oh, you never gonna make it that way," or "Oh, that's too difficult." Or I think for me, it was a big thing. It was like, "Oh, chefs, they don't make a lot of money to start off. It'd be hard to get going and everything." So I was discouraged in that way. And so that kind of leads me to my next question was like, so what does goal setting look like for everybody? Like, how do we work towards our goals? Like, so we had an idea of what we wanted to be, and I think out of everybody at this table, I think Dentre was the only one who was like, I became a rapper.
You gotta write it down and make a plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make it sure that this is what you want to do. You gotta make sure that you going for straight. You gotta like go lead me, guide me the way you want me to go.
yes, and that's what the word of God says too. Write the vision. Write the vision, make
I
the
was
plan.
just gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to know about what it is that you want to do. That as kids we don't think about that, but the older you get and the more you learn, you start realizing, you start measuring, and that's what, like for me, that's what I had to do. A lot of people told me, if you want to be a rapper, Okay, but it's not, there's just 10% making music, then it's 90% business. So you have to learn the business. You have to learn about, how much like cost-wise, studio time, publishing, all type of stuff like that. And it's not just about having a good product. You have to have people that's interested in your product too.
That's true.
And that's kind of like what's kind of made it harder, because one thing with music, you need support. You need somebody that's gonna listen to it. You need somebody that's gonna spread the word when they hear what you got going on. And you need a solid team behind you too. There's power in numbers in just about anything, And so it's hard when you see so many people around you, and not to brag or not to put anybody down. When you sure of the talent that you have, the skill that you have, you know that you have something that's worth being heard, but you don't have the support system behind you, or the movement behind you that's necessary. And that's what these labels and stuff be looking for. So that's what's hard for me, in my journey. And I'm pretty sure that probably would have been different if I had the support, especially when you're younger.
Yeah.
When you have that support when you're younger, it goes a very long way. But when it came to music, just like anything else, that's not the plan that you should be making. Waiting to happen. You need something more sure, rather than okay, this is what you want to do. If you do this, make sure you have to doing this, and that. You have to keep this in mind. It was just shut down, just shut down. And I understand my parents. Well, my dad. I can say my dad probably would, but he's just disconnected right there. And my mom's not a fan of rap music, so I don't expect her to, be all up in every song like, oh yeah, this the one. But but just some type of like guidance or like support. Well, like, what do you need, and how can we help? That would have went a long way too. But
You know what's funny? You probably don't know this, but Mama the one that be in every song.
Now she do. But recently she told me she didn't even know that was something I really wanted to do. I've been doing this since I was 16. Since 16, like.
She thought it was just like a
hobby,
like a phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I can see that though.
Yeah.
With a lot of stuff. Like a lot of times you can have a talent or a gift in something and people feel like you do it well, or you think you do it well, but people still don't feel like that's your goal or your dream. Like you just good at that, you know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of stuff you just said is universal with a lot of things. Like if people don't see you in that light or as that specific thing, they not gonna support it or get behind and push it because they don't see you as that. They know you as Dantrell, the brother, Dantrell, the uncle, Dantrell, the photographer. Like they don't see you as Dantrell, the rapper. You know what I'm saying? Even if they do hear your stuff and be like, man, he pretty good. That's when you start to see what she said. But mama do this. Yeah, because now she sees that you serious about it. You know what I'm saying? But I seen that, man, a lot in certain things I was doing. Like, when I was selling insurance, life insurance, like, people don't see you as a financial advisor to sit down and talk to them about their finances, getting on the right track, having a plan in place for when they gone, what will be left behind for their children. They saw me as Lucius the singer, Lucius the joker, the friend, the uncle, I'm the cousin, you know what I'm saying? So that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it's also important that when you're setting goals, it's like to also believe in them, because you can have all the support and stuff that you talked about, Dentrell, but you lose interest in what you're doing, or you either just you lack confidence. Like where's your confidence lying in? Or are you doing it like what is your motive behind it? Right. So like if money is motivating you for what your goal is, I honestly want to say like you're probably not going, you might not reach your goal, or it might not feel fulfilling as well. So when it comes to goals, I try to think of something that's like, what's going to actually bring me joy, right? Like, is this really something that I can see myself, doing for a long period of time, or is this something that's real short term and not really, beneficial?
And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I wanted to be a firefighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen, they were like heroes that wasn't on TV. Like they seem like real life heroes. But then it's like, as you stated, you have to believe in yourself, because one of the things that discouraged me from that, I didn't know nothing about what they make. I knew nothing about their schedule, but I knew that when they showed up on the scene, I never seen one that looked like me.
Yeah.
So it made
that
me
is true.
feel like that's not something that I could do.
What? That'd be perfect.
Until I got
I
older.
can see you now.
But by then, I had lost the desire to do it. But when you think about it, like when you call paramedics and like when the firemen show up, it's rare you see a black one.
I can't honestly think if I ever seen one. Like they got it on Chicago
Yeah.
Fire,
Right.
Chicago
Yeah.
PD, but that's
That's
not for
true.
real.
I always want to be a journalist, and all I do is write stuff down. I really couldn't speak to people and stuff like that. I just like to write stuff down. I went doing essays, making money off doing essays, because I found out you can make money in high school to do essays.
That's not what a journalist is.
But doing essays, that's what started me out. And they typing them thing before internet and all that stuff came out. Yeah, all we had was the computer, and we had what's the thing is the books.
A new book?
No, the encyclopedias. We had that and all that
you was
before
doing research.
everything technology came in and stop my journalists.
And we from the floppy disk age.
Right.
Well, the floppy disks come in different colors.
Yeah,
now.
the yeah. Toys R Us. Man, they gone. Toys R Us. The bikes and all that. You can get the computer games and all that. Learning all that. Toys R Us. Y'all remember Toys R Us and Dr. Seuss? I used to read it to me now.
Help us, Lord.
All right, so I got a question for y'all. So everybody who said what it is that they wanted to be when they were a kid, is that something that you actively tried to pursue? And if it is, what stopped you or deterred you or made you decide otherwise?
Money.
Money?
And support.
Yeah.
When I went to college, I didn't have support, probably from one person, and I just gave it up. Like, oh, y'all not sending me down to St. Louis to go to school, and I don't have no support.
Exactly.
So I was like, yeah, forget it, whatever. Yeah, it's really important that you support your kids, your nieces. It's really important when they're in college because they on their own.
They need that money.
You need that money.
They got extra
You need
basic
to sit there and
yeah,
have support
money,
system.
I mean-
It's like,
You
I was
need-
working a
Yeah.
work study job. That was like $100 every 2 weeks.
Wow.
dang.
Sometimes the support go further than anything. Man.
It does.
You need
Like,
something.
I want to be a fighter. And I told you I would deter me from that, but I think it evolved as you grow. Like it went from that to me picking up balls and realizing like, yeah, I like this. You know what I'm saying? Like I see people on TV. Now I see some people that look like me that's dominating in this field. Like this is something I can do. But I always felt like I ain't have support when it came to sports and stuff like that. Like my pops, he would come to my football game. Oh, he would come to all my football games, once I got to high school. But grammar school, I think it's in them younger ages, it's vital to grasp a child and find out what it is that they really like and support it. You know what I'm saying? Like once I got to high school, like I played football because I had to side, but I always felt like I was way better at basketball than I was at football. You know what I'm saying? Because football is a position, like what they had me doing, I ain't even like blocking. Like I do it because I can, and I'm cold at it, but that ain't what I want. I wanted to be Jeremy Shockey. For some of y'all who were finna catch it, y'all remember who Jeremy Shockey? I wanted to be Jeremy Shockey. I wanted to be a tight end. I didn't want to be no lineman, but I didn't get that support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the younger days, like they would see me play, but it's crazy. They would play with me and talk about how good I am, even when I'm young. Like I'm playing against grown men, but when it came to playing basketball, it was always like, put focus on the books. And I'm not saying that it's not right. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, okay, still, help mold and guide my dream. You know what I'm saying? If I don't make it, I don't make it. But
They was gonna wait till you made it.
don't let it not be because I didn't try.
That's when the support comes when you actually make it.
When I was in college, I didn't get no support either. But I love to write. And that's what guided me through college and go through everything. Because I like to write. I like to put pen to paper. And I made a plan to what I want. I want the money, so I had to stop going to college and all this stuff. I want the money. I needed that money.
No,
I had to go to work.
remind me of that. Y'all remember that book, Raisin in the Sun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The poem, she's like, what happened to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Like, I think the answer to that is yes.
Yes, it
Like,
is.
if you don't put no
Effort or love.
effort, no weight, or you lose that desire, like, it just shrivel up.
It do.
I mean,
Depression and everything
You talk about
come.
do priorities come in effect when you're trying to go after a certain thing? But
Yeah, I think
It does.
so. I think
Yes.
so.
Yes.
I think so.
You know what? I can attest to that. It definitely does, especially depending on what's required.
Right.
What's required of that. So like, for a good example with me with the music, you know, I have to. Like I said, I pay for studio time. You have to book it by hours. So that's hours invested into it. I shows, and I'm working at 9 to 5 too. So I remember it was nice. I'll finish the show 2-3 o'clock, go home and be at work at 5:30. Eyes can't even keep my eyes open. You know, it was some sacrifice to it, but at the same time though, there's still things that come before that. Like I've turned down shows and opportunities because it's either sometimes it'll get in the way of church. It's like if I can't, I'm not gonna miss church for it, you know. Or I've made plans with the people around me. I don't never want to like, you know, put something like put my I ain't gonna say dreams and stuff like that, but at the same time, I know this is something guaranteed. Whether it works out or it doesn't work out, at the end of the day, this is who I have: my family, my friends, the people around me. And so I prioritize my family. I prioritize my relationship with God, and of course finances. If I know my money has to go to something else, I'm not gonna put that before. I'm not gonna put the music and stuff before paying my bills and all that stuff either. You know, it's some people who do, and it works out for them. It be like that sometimes, but that's not for everybody, you know. And not everybody is in a position where they could take that risk. You know, I'm working at 9 to 5 trying to keep a roof over my head. You know, I can't make that sacrifice thinking this one song gonna be that song, and then if it ain't, I'm gonna be singing it on the sidewalk, right? So yes, priorities do definitely play a role in that for sure.
I think I agree with you too, cause I battle. It's crazy. Like I just talked to sister. This was like maybe 3 weeks ago, and she said something to me. That was something I wish I heard it 10 years ago, because 22, I make 10 years I've been preaching, but I literally gave up on stuff once I became a preacher. Like, though that's my desire and that's a goal, that's a dream. Like what would they think of me if I, you know what I'm saying, was an R&B singer? You know what I'm saying? Like, I stopped writing for years. Like, and so story, she was like, "Son, that's a gift God gave you to provide." She even referenced actors. She was like, "You don't think some of them are Christian? It was some of the roles have some of the things they curse in, you know, the things they have to do. That's a profession. Like that doesn't change who you are." And like I'm like, man, I wish I would have heard that so much long. But it was like she lit a fire back in me. Like, now I get it. You know, I can do this and pursue that.
Now you know me. I'm gonna be honest. I rap about all type of stuff. Yeah. But it's a scripture that I thank God I was able to understand when I was younger. All things work together, you know, for His good. Mm-hmm. It's all gonna come back around, right. You know. But you gotta keep God in the front of it. Right. So even in the midst of the stuff I do, I still write gospel music. You know, I write songs for other people. That's a blessing to His kingdom. And so, and I know that. I just something I also pray, whatever God, if I am doing anything that's not of you, I pray every day to be more and more like you. And if you know this is a desire that I have to do something, I know that you go work that out for me, and it's going to work out for you too, you know. Yeah. So that's something I kept in mind in the midst of what I do. So.
Yeah, I wish I would have heard that too a long time ago, because I gave up a gig, and I think if I would have took that gig and acted on it, I probably would have been, you know, making some nice bread. I wanted, when they play gigs like at like karaoke and like where they serve drinks, and but in my mind I was thinking like, okay, I'm up here playing every Sunday. What they gonna say about me if I went to a club or something, played some house music? You know, I wish I would have heard those words a long time ago too, because that'll really affect you later on in life.
Never had that problem.
No.
Did what I want to do.
But it's
I
like
was
we,
responsible. I was responsible with it though.
but we're held on a
Yeah,
different
y'all
pedestal
do.
than everybody
Y'all
else
do.
because we up here every Sunday. So
Right.
it's like, oh, you going to sing the devil's music? Whatever.
Yeah, my thing was I just wanted to make God proud, but you know, starting out as a minister, like I wanted to be taken serious too.
Absolutely.
You know, like that was the main thing. Like I just wanted to be taken serious. I wanted people to understand like he ain't just doing it because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Like he really. But that was.
I think we take each other serious.
What if
It's
people
just-
I have a question.
it's-
What if people don't take you serious, and then you be serious about ministry? You so faithful and so committed, and all that stuff. And they don't take you serious and think that you so crazy.
That's just people, JoJo.
Yeah, I think
That's the thing though.
Go ahead.
I'm so glad you asked that question. Even though a lot of the things that we do require support, I don't
You
think
tell the truth and
I don't
all
think
that.
we need to.
You tell the truth. It's like
Hold on.
Everything I said to tell the truth, and it's like I did all this and nothing.
Hold on. See, it's important that we have that support, but we shouldn't let the lack of it stop us from doing it. That's one thing. If you have a desire for something, a passion for something,
Yes.
If you really got a passion about it, ain't nothing gonna stop you no way. Like this,
I'm a hobo
look,
preacher.
this is the perfect example. We all came to this table. We
I'm a
made that
hobo
agreement
preacher.
that.
That's who I am.
Hold on, JoJo.
I'm sorry.
So like, this is a perfect
Yeah, man.
example. We all came to this table and had an agreement that this is something that we wanted to do,
Yeah.
and we said that if we couldn't do it here, we would have did it outside because this is something that we wanted to do.
true.
We weren't gonna let nothing get in the way of this because we have a vision. We knew what we wanted to do. We knew what we wanted to accomplish. We weren't finna let nothing stop us from accomplishing it.
Exactly.
And it should be the same way with our passions and goals. But at the same time, though, we do have to keep something else in mind, and I guess that leads to another question too.
Come on with it.
The timeline.
Yeah.
How many of y'all feel like it's too late to do what y'all said y'all wanted to do?
It's
I
not
don't
too
know.
late.
I don't know
I
if
got a
that-
shirt already said just do it.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the way I would phrase it. Too, it's like you also have to have the mindset of like, okay, are my plans realistic as well?
Oh, absolutely. But that's a separate question too.
That's a separate question. But that's what I ask myself is like, is this something that really is achievable for me at this?
Yes,
that's
sir.
what
Brandon is in blank.
I said,
I will support.
Right, but like I'm not about to make no dollars. I'm saying, like,
you talk about
it's just
the,
work.
the timing, right? So like for me, it's like I'm already, I don't know how to put it, like okay, so I'm working a job, I'm making good money, and that I got a wife, I got kids. So if I was to go after my real passion, my real goals, then I'll have to make a huge sacrifice.
Yeah.
And also now my family got to make that sacrifice too. So it's like do you go after that? Do you go after your goals and everybody sacrifice, or do you just keep it? Because you got somebody you got people depending on you.
I know exactly what you're saying because sometimes it's like some stuff. You have to be selfish.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
And it's like the question. Sometimes where you are in life at that point, it's like I can't be selfish. Like you said, I got responsibility. I got a wife. I got kids.
Right.
Like I can't be selfish and go after that. But sometimes in being selfish, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't do it. In my mind, I just think the selfishness accelerates the process. But it's still a way you can figure out how to.
But you see, you talk about selfish, but then again, would it be selfish on my end to bring them through it as well? You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Right. So I get what you're saying.
Because I battle with that too.
Right. So
I battle with
is
that
it
too.
selfish on my end?
You know what? I'm gonna answer that question. This is my opinion. I'm gonna say it is. I think it would. I have to be honest. It would be selfish.
I agree, though. I agree.
But that's another reason why it's important. When you, like my brother said before, when you see that young,
Yeah.
when you're younger and see it, your child has the time and like the opportunities now to do it before lives catch up to them.
Yeah.
That's the most important time to start doing this stuff. Like even with the music again, I know once I get married, all them shows, them late night shows, them out the door. Ain't no more of those. The money, huh?
Should she go up there with you? Think about it. Look at Nipsey Hussle when Nipsey Hussle was alive. Lauren London was all his videos.
But but at the same time though, when you have different visions, we're a team at this point. So even if we have different ideas, different goals, we have to work as one. And if if it ain't working for you, I have to ask myself, if it works for me, does it work for us? It might work for you, but it might not work for y'all. And if it don't work for y'all, somebody gonna be upset, or somebody has to sacrifice.
That's where understanding comes in.
I don't want, but the way you phrasing it is like at some point that could become detrimental for you though.
Yeah.
And I don't, and I'm not a fan of that. To be
No.
honest.
But that's honest. But that's honestly true though. Mm-hmm. It can be. But that's why it's important you have those conversations too. You don't just spring it on them. You have a conversation about it.
I mean, I think if a person know you for like, I ain't gonna even talk about your situation, but if a person have known you for years and know that this is what you do, and they accepting you for who you are now, like, it's not gonna change you, just because y'all walk down the aisle. I ain't married, you know what I'm saying? So I can't speak for the brothers that are, but I just feel like, like what you're doing is for the betterment of you all as a whole anyway. It's not the income that comes in from it. I'm not talking in this like just for me. I'm not selfish with it. Like, this is for us, and vice versa. Even that woman, like whatever that woman desires or goals or dreams, like support that. Like, don't smother it because you uncomfortable with it. Like, know your mate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, back to what he said, communication. Straightforward communication. But I also get what he's saying. At the end of the day, they're one.
Yeah.
And so they both gotta agree to it. Or somebody, like you said, somebody gotta make a sacrifice.
Yeah, and when I say that, I mean more so. I'm not saying like just because they don't. I'm not saying that they don't like what you do. I'm saying when it interferes with our responsibilities. That's more so what I'm speaking to. Like that's why I said like cut out the late night shows and stuff, because I have a responsibility to my wife and my home to be there to protect them at night, stuff like that. Just little things like that you don't really. A lot of us don't really think about until we have to think about them. So this is an example for me though.
You about to get emotional again?
Nah, I ain't gonna you gonna do me like that, man?
Nobody know your mate like you do.
Yeah.
Like some women probably don't feel comfortable with their mate working an overnight shift. Mm-hmm. Like, it's probably something that I can't do. I need you home. Like that could be something.
I had a girl like that. I left her.
Boy.
All about the money. What's wrong with it?
Anyways.
I always been one of those people who just believe like it's never too late. Like, I don't care how old you is, what you a crackhead, a junk. Like, I don't care. It's never. And who are we to say what? Because at that point we would be putting limits on God. And I want to ask a question about what Brandon said when he was talking about being realistic. Like, how do we draw the line between being realistic and allowing God to do the impossible? Because we don't know what he can do. So how do y'all draw that line?
You listen to your spirit. Your spirit will tell you. That's really what it is. And don't get me wrong, I ain't saying it's gonna be clear as day. I'm not saying it's gonna be clear as day. You be in situations and that's when you hear the spirit talking to you. So I'm gonna relate everything to my story, y'all. Like, I had an opportunity to perform in Cali. So, not Cali, I was in ATL. I got an opportunity to perform in Atlanta. And my spirit kept telling me, don't do that. But I'm like, I'm not gonna pass up on no opportunity. Mm-hmm. I went down there and literally everything on that trip went wrong, man. Wow. First of all, like, we supposed to be in this nice hotel, nice transportation. We was packed like 10 of us in a small van for 14 hours going down to Atlanta. I lost my phone while I was down there in Atlanta. My clothes got messed up before my performance in Atlanta. And then when it was time to do the show, the host was skipping over the people that came from Chicago. And so it got to the point I was so frustrated I didn't even perform. I spent well over $500 and didn't even perform when I was down in Atlanta. And so that told me, that taught me a lesson when it comes to dealing with certain people. Don't deal with those people. Yeah. Your spirit will tell you. And sometimes you're gonna end up going through stuff and you're gonna have to learn the hard way. That's just life. Sometimes you're gonna have to learn the hard way. But your spirit will let you know when it's time for something, when it's not time for something, and when it's time to move on to something else. We just have to heed it when we hear it. Sometimes we don't want to hear it. That's just honest truth. Sometimes we want stuff so bad, and we'll ignore the Spirit talking directly to us sometimes, and then we have to learn the hard way.
And I think a lot of times people of God, we try to treat God like He a magician. Like, yes, He can't do any and all things. He's all knowing, all powerful. Yes, but we have to be realistic. As what have you done on your end that will enable Him to do what He needs to do to place you where it is you want to be?
Right.
You know, that's where I look at when we say, is it a realistic goal? Is it realistic? You know, you have to be honest with yourself, and that's one of the hardest things to do in life. Being honest with yourself, looking in the mirror, and being able to honestly say, like, I've done all that I can in my power in order to achieve this, in order to be okay, God, the rest is on you. A lot of times we don't even be at that point yet, but we still want Him to swoop in and say that that ain't how it works. You gotta put, you know, some ties to the road and do your part too.
Like what Dentrell said, when he went down to Atlanta, he had a bad experience. He had a work experience. Something like that could have destroyed his confidence in being a rapper. He said he could have easily gave up right then and there. But, you know, I guess that probably made you go harder or what?
Well, no, for me, it just taught me who to deal with and who not to deal with. My spirit was most of the time, it wasn't really the going to Atlanta. It was the who I was going with, who we were going through. And that's really what it was for me, though. So I learned, it taught me when your spirit tell you no, you listen to it. That's all that is.
You know what I kind of equate this to is like, I think we've all at this table, we've quit a job before, right?
Yes.
you know, like them days leading up to you quitting, like, yeah, I'm about to quit. Like, you know, it's time. You just in your heart of hearts, like, even before that, even leading up to it, like, it can be a month beforehand, like, I don't want to be here no more. Like, I shouldn't do it. Like
4 man meals. Look, let me tell y'all. I'm ready to tell my story. Nah, but for real, I had that exact experience. And I remember one day I was so frustrated coming to work. I was literally walking through the aisles of the store, almost in tears, like of frustration, because I hated being there that much. But you know, a member of the church was the manager at Foreman Mills. That's how I ended up getting the job. And you know, when certain people look out for you, you try to do your best. She wasn't even there no more, but I just just proving myself that I could, like, even when stuff get hard, I could deal with it. And I was dealing with it, but I wasn't happy there. And I'm thinking, sometimes it's just good just to have a job. Some people don't have a job. But my mama told me something. When she told me this, that's when I knew it was time to go. Blessings from God do not come with sorrow. Blessings from God do not come with sorrow. If you end up miserable like that, God don't want that for you. God don't want us being miserable.
Like my relationship I was in.
Anyways.
Something was wrong with her.
But yeah, when you know it's when you sitting around upset like that, then you know it's time to go. And then in the midst of that, opportunities come through too. But the Bible say don't get weary in well doing too. So if you end up doing what you're supposed to do, even through those hardships, those doors will open for you. And I was lucky enough, the same person that got me that job there helped me get my next job because her son was working somewhere else. She was like, you don't need to be here. Go apply to this job. She gave me the time on my shift to go to the interview and everything.
That's what's up.
Yep. Shout out Helen. I love you, Helen.
make sure she sees it.
Make sure she sees it. All right, so I got another question, though. So a lot of y'all in this room, just about all of y'all got talents. Y'all are very talented.
Yeah. So are you.
Thank you. So do you guys ever consider pursuing your talents? Like, it's a lot of, like, the singers at this table are amazing.
Thank you.
And the musicians are very talented. Very talented.
I ain't got no talent.
Brandy, you be getting your cook on.
I ain't got no talent.
Yes, you do, Brandon.
That was one period in my life where I can honestly say I was going harder for it than I am now. Like, I missed my college graduation because I was in Rhode Island auditioning for the X Factor. I've done every singing competition except American Idol. Like, every one. And when I say, and when you hear it and you see all this amazing talent get these no's and you see these people like, hold on, no, he didn't get it, yes. Like, it kind of makes you, and it discouraged me. It showed me like, okay, it's more to this than just talent. Like, it's a business. It's about marketability. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped doing the singing competition stuff. Like, people always emailing me or texting me like, "Ooh, so and so never gonna be here. You gonna do that?" No, like it's a waste of time. Even the last time I auditioned for The Voice, it was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. They was at McCormick Place, and they lined 10 of us up. Everybody had 1 minute and 30 seconds to sing. I was the last person to go. They kept me in the room. Actually took my information down and said, "Look for a call back," and I didn't hear nothing back. So it's like,
But
I stopped.
Then you let down like a contract or something to sing for like a group or something.
That's what. That group wanted me to sing with them. Yeah.
And you didn't do that either.
Nah,
Why?
the group broke up. Like, my spirit was telling me that wasn't for me.
You had to sign
You know-
something, right?
It wasn't even that, but I promise you, like, my spirit was telling me like that's not for me. Like, I'd rather have to do what we doing here than to go sing. Like, even I've had offers to be praise worship leader.
Yeah,
Other places.
that's
When I say offer, like they trying to pay me.
Yes,
I don't make a dime here, but I do it out of the love for what I got for singing and music. And this is my home. You know, I ain't finna leave for no dollar. You know what I'm saying?
I think for me, I wish I would have took it serious when I was younger. I should have grasped up on it serious when I was younger. Playing the drums,
Yeah,
singing.
had you.
Yeah, I didn't know then what I know now. You know, that you can make a lot of money in this field. You can go out. So I wish I would have grasped up on at a younger age. So that's why I see the Lucians and the Mimis and they going hard, and I'm proud of it because when we all started, I started here, so at the same time. So like you said, if I would have took it serious then, I'd probably be further down.
Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like, oh, she going hard. I got so much stuff to learn, like with music theory.
But
come on, Didi, you know about it.
No,
It's so much stuff that I need.
Where you came,
where I came from. Yeah, but it's so much stuff.
You're a leader now, and up there now. So
Yeah, it's so much stuff that
teacher,
I gotta
leader.
learn. I gotta learn so much more, and I always wanted to play. Sorry, y'all. I always wanted to play Kojic. Kojic? Is it Kojic? I always wanted to play
Coachella?
What?
No.
I always wanted to play for a Kojic church because it's different from Baptist, but I guess those were kind of goals and dreams that I kind of let down. But it's not too late. I want to learn Kojic music, Catholic music. I have it a little bit, but I definitely want to play like outside of these walls.
I shouted in all of them.
One thing that I think that is important, has been important for me, is like I heard this man say once. He was like, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Mm-hmm. So I try to apply that to even like talents and gifts. Like I try to surround myself with people or be around people who I know that I look at as better. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, but like that I look at like, man, he cold. Like she good at that. You know? And it did help me, especially with runs and stuff. Like I would listen to people like, man, like the runs sound like butter. Like I want to run like that.
But I had to do the same thing myself.
Somebody better than you.
I had to do the same thing myself because when I first started rapping, I had a group, me and my friends, and everybody was telling me I was cold. And that was the name of my group. but everybody was telling me that I was a decent rapper, But then I got one of my friends, his brother he's actually signed to a label, and he was like, "Yeah, you okay, but you got a long way to go." Like he started playing me music from different artists. Like, you see how they do this? Now, you see how all these words in this line rhyme with all the words in this one? You just doing nursery rhymes. You gotta kick it up a notch. Labels don't care about nursery rhymes like that. So I started doing more deeper rhyming lines and stuff in my music. Then I got even better. Then I started doing shows. I started hanging around MCs like these guys, like lyrically just crazy. And I'm like, bro, I gotta do that. I gotta do that. And so I start stepping my pen up because I want to go in the room with these, maybe in the freestyling and stuff, and I'm just sitting in the back. Now I'm the one in the middle going crazy. Man. So like you said, you have to surround yourself around the people that's gonna make you elevate, you know. But you gotta want it for yourself too, though. Because honestly, back to what he was talking about the nursery rhymes, then and I was like, man, I feel like I'm doing the best I can. If that ain't good, if this ain't good enough, I almost stopped rapping. I was like, nah, bro, I'm finna prove him wrong. I can't give up right here, and that's what made me just go in. And ever since then, it's just been
That's how the great ones get started.
We can't get caught up in looking at it as hate.
That's exactly.
I'm just gonna say that. You gotta be careful.
Exactly.
You gotta be careful who you hang around with because somebody talk like I always wanted musician friends. I mean, I know y'all are, but people like that actually play like me.
Yeah.
Like I've been trying to find people on Facebook, all of that. I've been told so many times, you don't need to learn nothing. You good already. Yeah. It's very important that you be careful of who you know, who you hang around, who you be around, because they be definitely hating. Yeah, that's
some
that's
of the constructive criticism is very, very important and very vital. Like if people looked at it like dude was hating and just kept doing the way he was doing, like man, he probably would have never grew to the point he's at now. You know what I'm saying?
It's helpful though when you criticize someone. It's just out of love. You gotta do it out of love.
Absolutely. That's it right there.
That's true.
Because what comes from the heart gonna reach the heart. You know?
Yep. That's what it is.
You sometimes, and that don't mean it's gonna feel good.
Right.
I received constructive criticism that didn't feel good at all.
I know, bro.
But I knew it came from a place of love, and it helped me.
Yep.
Say you a good singer, but you gotta do this, and it's like you a good singer, but you ain't up here. You down there, and it's like people say something so bogus to you, and it's like. Who is you? Who are you?
But you got,
like a prophet told me you ain't got the anointing. And, I told him, you don't either.
Oh my goodness. But so look, sometimes too we have to, especially like when we're unseasoned. I'm gonna say unseasoned.
Yeah.
Like we have to learn to take criticism. Sometimes because. Sometimes we think we do got it together. Or I ain't gonna say that we got it together. Or we don't, a lot of times we just don't like who it's coming from. That could be the it sometimes too.
That's
We don't,
true.
if it's somebody else would have told us, it would take a different. But you know, it be like that sometimes. Yeah. But we do have to understand, we have to take that criticism and look at it.
And this is gonna be
if they're saying this, okay, what is this? What I'm doing line up with that. Like when he told me that stuff, like I was upset about it, but he was right. He wasn't wrong about nothing he was saying. I was a nursery rhymer, cat, bat, hat, mat. like then I started, so I had to work on that, doing the most, true in the post, like extending it. Like you got like just little stuff like that, little by little, But some criticism, we don't want to hear it, but you have to look at it and say. If I take this, will it help me? Yeah. Regardless of who said it, would I benefit from that? Exactly. And if you can, just take it.
What I notice about musicians and artists and all that, they're a little bit sensitive.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because you want everybody to like you, everybody to love you. So sometimes if you hear criticism, then you might get
discouraged. You gotta get over that.
But also with the criticism, you do need encouragement.
Yes.
You do need like I say like Sister Story, right? That if you play good, she'll tell you play good. But if you messed up, she'll tell you messed up. So if she come to me and say I messed up, I could take that and be like, okay, I did mess up maybe because I know she gonna tell me when I'm good as well. So some people just tell you when you was bad.
That's a good point.
Everybody not gonna tell you when you actually when you sung that song and then you did that.
That's a good point.
They always come up to that you sung that song, but you must know you did this, but they're not gonna come to you and say, hey, you did good, you did good today. You know. So also with that, you need motivation and also.
Yeah, that's true, man. And you know what? I don't think people really realize that I shut my ears off to people who only got something negative to say.
Yeah, me too.
And it's sad though because they probably saying something that's factual that'll help me. But if I ain't never ever heard you say one positive thing, like I'll be shutting my ears off to it, man. Because it's like to me, are you watching to see the fall?
Somebody fall?
Like, is you? Okay, out of that, all that. Okay, what did I do good?
True.
Nothing. Like, nah, I can't listen to
It's
that.
gonna hurt you, or it's gonna make you stronger.
Yeah.
It'll make you wiser, or it's gonna hurt you.
And I take that into life.
Yeah,
like,
life,
even as a supervisor,
every day,
like, I tell my guys in a minute, like, y'all messed that up. But I also, man, appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all. I know nobody else said. I appreciate y'all, man. I got love for y'all. I'll cook something, bring food in. Hey, look, oh, Luke cook. Like, yeah, like, and that goes back to the gifts. That's one of my gifts. That's one of my talents.
Yes, Lord.
You know, and I use that in other ways. Like, it just, everything works together, man. If you can utilize it, utilize it. Like, we all have multiple gifts.
Yep.
We all have multiple gifts. And
What
I'm
the preacher
on-
say? What's in this house?
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I try to use everything that's in this house. Everything.
Yeah. And that's right too. Just like because I rap, I'm good with words. I'm good with poetry. So I do poems here.
Yeah.
I do them at anywhere they ask me to be. I'm there, like right across the street where you can. They had a program going on with their kids. I came over there and did poetry. They loved it. They loved it. Even with my photography, I take pictures. Just like I go outside and book stuff to take pictures for people. I come in here and take pictures for free just because, this is my church. I want to do something for my church.
Yeah.
Your gift, you can't be selfish with your gift too if you want God to feel it.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Because people are waiting for you to put a smile on their face. That's for your helpfulness and your personality and all that. Being helpful, and it's good to be helpful and being nicer to people.
Yeah.
You gotta be real angry because everybody else are angry.
So I heard something that just gave me another question. I know you got some Brandon. I just heard something that gave me another question. I don't know if they can hear this in the video, but there's some drumming going on right now. And more than likely, I'm just taking a guess. I'm pretty sure that was his son over there. So, what you got? So, for those of you who have kids, have you guys seen the talent in your kids yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very early too.
Yeah.
And they love it more than.
We do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. They love it. Yeah.
Are you guys encouraging it?
Oh yeah.
I'm encouraging
definitely
it,
encouraging.
but it's like I can see myself in Caden. I try to get him to sing more. You know, Caden can blow. You know, Caden can sing.
Yes.
I try to get him to sing a lot, and Caden does not want to sing.
Nah.
I'm thinking as a parent, like, okay, am I pushing him to do something he don't want to do, or is that Caden's gift and talent? You know,
Bro, I get what you're saying.
I don't know. Is
I get what you're saying.
Caden supposed to sing at this age? He's singing. He's singing
blows
like
too.
me.
Yes.
You know, with feeling, and I love Jesus. Caden
me.
love him some
Excuse
Jesus,
me, like me.
but he doesn't want to sing.
Like so.
He want to play, and that's where the different talents come in. Caden want to play the drums, so I don't know what to push on on these kids. I guess I have to let him find out for himself.
Yeah, you just gotta support
Gotta
them,
support
man.
Yeah.
You gotta
Oh, yeah.
support them.
Like my daughter, she does skating class, gymnastics. Like her grandma usually her grandma signed up for a skating class. And I ain't gonna lie, my motto is you signed them up for it, you better be ready to be able to take it. You know what I'm saying? She's out of town. And yesterday she had skating class. And I did not feel like riding in Lombard, but I said, my baby love doing this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that sacrifice. We gonna go skate. So I took her to her little skating class yesterday, and she was doing good. Like she promoted to the next class, and she low key had me thinking like, man, I need to take some skating
Okay.
class.
You can't be out here falling.
Skating class.
She gonna be smooth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that support.
You got to.
I remember with ballet, gymnastics,
Yeah.
dance, here,
Let them
sing.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Then my son, he played it. He liked the drums a lot. He loved them. And he don't even want to get down. I be like, man, it's time to go, dog. I brought him a little set. He beat it up so much. He tore it up. But yeah, you just like Mimi said, you just guide them and watch them and see which way they go and support them
Yeah.
wherever they go. You know,
It's,
Nah,
it's very,
encourage
very
I
all
wish I
y'all,
could beat
man.
Joe Jackson.
I encourage all the parents, like, don't look at something that you see that they got a desire in and feel like it's not important to you, that it should be important to them. You know, and I think that a lot of times parents, we fall into that. Like, even what you were saying earlier, like a lot of that was because maybe mama and pops didn't feel like that was important, rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not important. Like, I know that was the issue for me. Like, my pops didn't feel like basketball was, what, you know, them books, especially when your grades ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? But don't ever discourage, you know, always encourage, you know, to push them towards those things that they love.
I think more than anything, as parents, it's important to, one, if your kids say something, even if they're not, one, you take it serious, and you make sure that they take it serious. I think it's more so that than anything. Like, I'll give y'all an example. We was talking to one of the youth here, DeMonte. Me and Brandon asked him what he wanted to do. He said he wanted to be a YouTuber, right? And so the first thing I thought was a YouTuber, like, for as a career. But I was like, dang, that's the same thing my parents probably saying about me saying I want to be a rapper, you know? And it's just like it's people, some people, it's like it's a 1 in a million chance. Okay, somebody parent believed that they child was that 1 in a million, and look what happened.
Yeah. It's a story I was just watching, man. It was I can't remember his name. I wish I knew his name, man. He was in the NFL, but he was still doing his YouTube stuff in college. You know what I'm saying? And they were saying because he was getting paid, from YouTube. You can't be getting paid and be playing, you know, college football. So he quit that. But NFL teams was giving him offers and stuff. But he was like, forget that. Even though he know he was cold at what he was doing on the field, his heart was in being like that was his dream. Now this man is a multi-millionaire. And man,
no, it don't actually.
YouTube does pay.
No.
What? It's kids on YouTube opening.
You have to go through.
Toys,
Look, they make it good money, but YouTube is very scandalous. Some people just they generate so much revenue. They still doing good, but
and that's probably his case.
Yeah, but YouTube it's a lot going on with YouTube, but those people that you see, they should be making way more. Those people that you see, like that's why a lot of people that should be making money, they're YouTube and going through things to cut off the revenue to keep it to them rather than the percentages, you know. But that's a whole nother thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you the businessman, you know.
Nah, I used to post on YouTube a lot. That's I wasn't doing no numbers. But anyway, Brandon, what you got over there?
Yeah, I wanted to wrap up kind of conversation, ask an overall question, and also just leave us with some guiding scriptures. So Proverbs 16 has quite a few nuggets in here. The first verse also says, "The plans of the heart belong to man, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord." Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established." Proverbs 16:9 says, "The heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps." Amen. So I just want us all to keep that in mind. When anything, like we said earlier, it's all about first, you know, your spirit has to feel it. You have to be asking God, is this really where the direction I should be going? And then too, you have to put in your level of effort as well. So my final question is like, are you all feeling like you're in the process of turning some of your dreams into reality?
Yes.
I am.
Yes.
And it's another scripture that I hold on to when he says, "I know the thoughts that I have towards you." You know, it's to give you an expected end. So my question to everybody, what are you expecting?
All right,
that's going to be the end all be all. What are you expecting? If you're not expecting anything out of this, you're not going to get anything out of it. What are you expecting?
All right, my plan out now. Because I had created a lot of stuff, but I want my money. I created a lot of stuff, and I want my money, and I want to create all the plans. I'm getting everything back on track now. Yeah, my house. Thank God.
Do you think, like, okay, you wanted to be a rapper, right? And what you're doing now, just say you making good money. You doing what you're doing now. That's not what you was doing. You wanted to do as a child, right? Do you think it was a backup plan?
Which one? The rapping?
What you doing now?
What I'm doing now?
I think it was a backup plan as far as
to be a rapper, or to like what I actually do in life?
Actually, what you're doing now, because you wanted to be a rapper, but that didn't work out. Do you think God had a backup plan for you to be surviving right now?
You know what? I'm not gonna say that. I know that I understood that what I wanted to do is a chance that might not happen. I understood that. Okay. But even though I got a job now, I'm in a position right now where I make great money, and I'm in a spot where I can make even greater money. I know that my heart isn't in it, so I never call what I do I never call it a career. I never call it my actual job. I say this is just something I'm doing to get to provide.
Survive, yeah.
But I know what I want to do to live.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. So like say like one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
One day you're gonna have to make that big decision. Like, do I stay here, or do I take that chance and go there? And you know, like you say, you finna have a family, finna get married or whatever. So now you gotta.
I'm glad you said that. For real though. Yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm in a good position. But then somebody come with you, hey, D, I got this.
So let me tell you this, and I think this would be a good way to close this. One thing I always pray to God about, I always say, Lord, whatever you have planned for me, teach me to be okay with that.
Yeah.
I think that's what I say more than anything. If this ain't what's for me, help me to cope with that, and just help me to be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what I want to do, I put God before anything. And so, if that's what God has for me, He's gonna, and I'm heeded to Him. I know that whatever I end up with, it's gonna come from Him, and I'm okay with that. So that's just me.
That's good. That's good.
And don't get me wrong, even if it ain't, even right now, I said, even if I never make it to where I want it to be, I know that I tried. I know I did my best, and I'm having fun with it right now. I'm having so much fun with it.
Yeah.
Even if I don't make it, I'm still enjoying it because this is something that I like to do.
Yeah.
That's why it's important. If you like something, even if you have an opportunity to be in that space, even if you ain't doing exactly what it is, just to be in that space is a good feeling. So that's fine with me. Like, I'll help other people. I got my own studio equipment, so even if I don't never make it, I know some people that want to rap. Come on. Even if I don't care if you're not good, come on. This is what you want to do, I'm gonna help you do it. Because that's what I love to do. Yeah. And if I'm helping somebody else do it, and it just so happen that you get to where I want it to be, that's fine with me. Yeah. I'm satisfied because I know that something that I wanted to do, God fulfilled it in some shape, form, or manner. So
you know, what I hear what you saying, Didi, is that because most people, they be in love with how much money they can make off doing this, and you in love with what the rap and the passion, what you doing. You never once said I can make money here. I can make.
Yeah.
You always talk about, you know, hey, this is what I love to do. Like you just said, if I don't make it, I got these equipments. I'm gonna bring somebody else in and help them out. So you're not in it. So sometimes most people be chasing that bag, that money, and you chase that, and you get discouraged, or you don't make it, it don't happen. But like you say, man,
it's always good to have people who enjoy what they do.
Enjoy what they do.
And that's, you know what? And I didn't notice that I didn't say anything about money. But y'all don't know why I wanted to be a rapper, because the first time I ever rapped, it made me happy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about it. It just made me happy. And that's another thing I like to. I just want to be happy with life.
Yes.
That's right, yeah.
I don't care what it is, as long as I'm happy. I don't want to go through life feeling upset and regret and stuff like that. I just want to be happy. The music makes me happy. So
Yes, it does.
yeah.
Yes, it does.
Find what makes you happy, man.
Yeah.
Take it out.
That's what we can end it on then. Find
What makes you happy, yeah.
Makes you happy, yeah.
That's how I'm living right now, man. I'm just asking God to lead and guide me.
Happy.
And to that.
Amen.
Truth, I forgot that one for a second. I had to thought real quick.
I guess we can wrap it up then.
Yeah, let's wrap it up then.
All right, well, close us out, Brandon. Just
What?
just say thanks. I don't know.
That's it, man. That's all, folks.
All right, man. That's another episode, man. Thanks, y'all. We just talking, man. Y'all know how it goes. All right, just stay back to the camera, everybody.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
See y'all next time.